What's up YouTube? For today's video, this is going to be your guide on how to use Iron Bundle in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing some competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like me to cover, let me know about it in the comment section. And if there's another set you think really works well for Iron Bundle, let me know there as well. Without further ado, let's have a look at this. Now, I thought it'd be an appropriate time to cover Iron Bundle because it is very close to Christmas. This Pokemon is so good. So we got that mega speed stat of 136 base and a big 124 base in special attack, which makes it a perfect speedy special attacking sweeper. Now, we've got the Quark Drive with that too, so you can use this on a team with electric terrain, which is going to give it a 1.5 boost in speed if it is its highest stat, or you can do even like a modest build if you want to there as well to boost its special attack further. So you've got a couple of options there. I do like how it's got such a high speed stat, so it's going to be hitting hard and fast. So this set here, I've got this one as heavy duty boots as its main sort of item there. You can run other items. I'll suggest a couple in a sec there. So I've got a little bit of an option here out of Blizzard or Ice Beam. Now, this would be really good on like a snow skate team. You can have the hail up already, and then you could use Blizzard. It does get Ice Beam if you haven't got that option there to have the snow already going. So you've got Ice Beam on there, or Blizzard. One of those two moves are going to work fine. You've got Freeze Dry here. Freeze Dry is great for hitting water type Pokemon, which can come into ice and water types. And you've got Hydro Pump on here as a powerful special attacking stab. As for the fourth move, you can give it some utility. I thought Taunt would make a good one. You could lead with it, and that way you could get around any lead Pokemon trying to set up entry hazards and things like that. You got very little options outside that. You do have Terra Blast if you want to Terra into a different type, but I don't know. I'd probably going with Terra Water if it was me, or even Terra Ice would be good on there too. So there you go, Terra options. Outside of it, it's kind of barren, but it's got everything that it needs, I guess you could say there. But you could try something like Terra Blast. I don't know. Say you're maybe Terra Ground would be all right. You could get around some electric type moves. But yeah, most of the time you're going to be wanting to use Terra Water or Ice because that's going to be super powerful. Some more move options you could have a look here. It does get Veil, which could work as well. It does have a nice defensive stat of 114. So if you know there's no special attack around, you could try and set up that Veil if you got the snow going. That's another option it could do. It also gets Encore too, which isn't a bad option at the same time because you could actually Encore the the first Pokemon into a certain move. Maybe it'd be Stealth Rock or Sticky Web or something like that, or just a status move that's not going to do anything at all. It also does get Snowscape, so there is an option of setting up the snow first, and you could swap up this here with Blizzard, but it's probably best, in my opinion, it's probably best suited for something like a Bomber Snow, right? If you're wanting to run a snow team, which would work there. As for item options, wow, you could do anything there. So we've got Life Orb, that would be a nice option there. If you're worried about accuracy, you could gimmick it a little bit with Wide Lens for Hydro Pump. Another option you could give it, you could straight up give it choice specs if you wanted to there, if you weren't running, boost energy. Like, boost energy is good there because it gives you that speed, but you can get around that with having a Pokemon on a team that obviously does have the electric terrain. So that's mostly what you're going to see in terms of, let me remove that there. This is going to be the moves you're going to see the most. Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, and Hydro Pump. That's basically another option too. People like to run on there. I've seen it too. It does work well for momentum. Is Flip Turn. I know it's a physical move, but it does give good momentum on this Pokemon. So you could whack that on there too. I absolutely don't see why that wouldn't work at all. Let's have a look at the next one here. So this one is a little bit more of a gimmick here. We're going to make this a Snowscape Aurora Veil set. I've given it its two main stabs. So Blizzard is going to be hitting 100% in the snow, which is great. And it's going to give it extra bulk too, which is great. That buff, in the snow there, 1.5 defense, is going to really boost up Iron Bundle, like, it's going to be very, very hard to take out with a physical move, you know? So we've given it Light Clay there so we can extend out the Aurora Veil for 8 turns, which is, you know, you kind of want that. You're going to be attacking with Blizzard, so you want that going for as long as possible. And I've just given it its 2 main stab moves there, just so it can do as maximum damage as, you know, possible, you know? With this EV spread, I've given it Timid Nature, and I've given it max special attack and max speed. So that's probably what you're going to be running on most of the time. I mean, you can actually change things around it. You can go modest if you really want to for more base power, which would be pretty nice. But yeah, that'd be okay there for that set. So let's have a look at the next one. I just love how they've turned Delibird, a Pokemon that virtually no one really uses, which I thought it's really cool, into like a massive powerhouse. This is a set that I've tried. This is definitely a gimmicky set, but it still did have a little bit of potential. It's got a fair bit of potential because it's got Flip Turn and it's got U-Turn, which is quite rare having both of those 2 moves on the same set. And I've given it Ice Spinner and Play Rough. This gives it fairly good coverage there for what it needs to do. As a physical attacker, like, you probably wouldn't use it that often, but you know, it's not too bad. So we've got Choice Band here as the item, which is going to be fine there. That's going to give it a little bit of extra power on Flip Turn and U-Turn there. And you've got Play Rough on there for any fighting types that come in as well. That could be another one. I've given it Terra Ice Air. You can even give it Terra Fairy if you want. That'd be interesting. So that'd be like a nice little surprise there for the opponent, turning yourself into a fairy. I bet no one would expect that. It's still respectable at 80, but obviously it doesn't hold a candle to the special set. But a little bit of a more gimmicky surprise option there for the Iron Bundle. Now this set here, so this is real gimmicky. So I thought, how can I use Iron Bundle but make it to do with Christmas, right? So I've given a Snowball. Now Snowball is gonna raise your attack by 1 stage if you're hit by an ice type attack. I'm like, how can I get Delibird to get hit by an ice type attack? So like, wait, I can go for a Terra Ground and use that ground typing to bait out a ice move, and then give our friend Iron Bundle a +1 in attack from an ice move. I thought it'd be very, very fitting to make it use a Snowball Troll set. The moves I've given it are Ice Spinner, Play Rough, we got Terra Blast Ground, and I've also got Acrobatics there, because once you consume your Snowball, you'll be getting a double base power. Obviously, this set is absolute garbage, but it's a little bit of fun, and to get the Snowball to activate on a Iron Bundle, I think would be quite hilarious. Let's have a look at some other options here. This Pokemon is kind of barren to be like, when you look at it, that's very, very barren. It really, really is. Now, the only other special options that it truly gets here, it does get Air Cutter. That's another sort of gimmicky move, like critting move. I don't know if you could do too much for that. Maybe you could go, I'm trying to think of a critting set you could use. You could try and hit fighting types of that, but it doesn't really give too much, you know. It's not a very high base power, and you know, it's not even 100% critical hit, so there's probably not too much you can, probably do for that. As for doubles, let's do a double set here. So, obviously, in doubles, I'd be pairing this with something like, let's say, for example, here, let me get rid of that. So, we got Abomasnow. So, say if you want to run a Hail team. So, we'll get that Snow going there, and then you can partner it with Iron Bundle, which would be, pretty good, because Iron Bundle can get rid of any of those Fire-type moves, because it gets Surf. No, unfortunately, it doesn't get Surf, but it does get Hydro Pump. We'll just give it Hydro Pump. So, that'd be quite nice, synergy there in doubles. You'd have to, make sure you take out the fire Pokemon quickly, and that would just set it up. So that could be good. And you could also give Abomasnow a helping hand to further boost out Iron Bundle's, really high special attack stat here. That would be amazing. Like, those blizzards would be absolutely popping off there. And with the Quark Drive, you could give it like another boost in speed with Quark Drive, or you could just give it like an item, like I don't know, you can give it just a life orb to do some extra damage, It depends sort of what you're going for there in build, but that's a powerful combination there for sure with Abomasnow. Some other move coverage here it gets. Like I said, you could even have a chance to put the Veil up there too. If you suspected the opponent was going to go for Protect or something along those lines, that could, definitely work out for you there too. So that would make it even more bulky, So that'd be cool. And you could just pop on I'd pop on Freeze Dry or something like that for any water type Pokemon coming in. Or the Abomasnow could, definitely take care of that too with any sort of Grass move. that it would be, be carrying, depending on sort of what moveset you're using, whether it be physical or special, So, yeah, I know if it had I'm just going to throw a grass move on here, for example. If it had a grass move, it'd cover that water weaknesses. So, I see pretty nice synergy there between those two Pokemon, This could handle the flying type Pokemon that Abomasnow is weak to, and the fire types. And this could, handle any... maybe you could give it something like, I'm trying to think here. You give it like Earthquake, that could be nice. If you're running like Protect on there, you could get around that, and that could hit those electric type Pokemon too. There's a lot of like little options and stuff you could use there. I think that it even gets, let me check it out. You've even got Rock Slide there as well. That could work nicely. Or you could just make it support, You could just make this like really, really bulky support alongside there, That could be very... very, very handy. You've got Icy Rock and stuff like that too. So yeah, that's sort of like a doubles build there. So as for countering this Pokemon, okay. So when you look at this Pokemon, it is very special heavy, right? Outside, like as obviously a special defensive wall is going to be able to stop this thing a lot, So you've got something like Blissey or Chansey or something like that are going to be very, very good at swapping into that. And, they could cripple it with, say, like this a Thunder Wave or something like that. Because it does rely on its speed a lot. This Pokemon, it definitely relies on its speed. Now, an opposing Iron Bundle is also a good counter as well to this. With Freeze Dry and stuff like that, that's another good counter. Now, it's not really very bulky on the special side. So if you're going to hit it, on the special side, it's not as bulky. Its defensive stat is actually pretty impressive considering it's already got like mega special attack and speed. So I'm thinking too, any Pokemon that would be special defensive walls would probably stop this. But they are still going to take a fair big hit from there too. So Blissey or Chansey, any of those Pokemon would work nicely. A thick fat Pokemon wouldn't do too bad here, Probably not Apple Tongue because that's 4 times weaker. Any sort of like thick fat Pokemon would do pretty nicely against it. And matter of fact, Titan, that's actually pretty interesting. So Titan would be able to probably wreck Iron Bundle once it got its Slush Rush going, and it could just like whack it back with a powerful physical move there. So that's not a bad one. And I know it's quite a specific counter, but thick fat Pokemon will be nicely against this too. They'll be able to sponge those ice moves there, which is Delibird Iron Bundle sort of main thing there. Hydro Pump, with its special, Hydro Pump is a bit shaky too. So it's not always going to be landing this move at 80 base power. So if you've got something that can get around like Liver Freeze Dry or whatever like that, you've got a chance there. Depending on what its Terra type is. If it Terras into, like, say, Ice type, I see quite a few people running Terra Ice on this. Ice isn't that good a type, so yeah, it's going to be susceptible to a lot of priority moves there. So you've got like things like Sizzle, right? So with Bullet Punch there, that is going to absolutely wreck it. You've got some other options here like Breloom as well. So you've got Mach Punch, Technician, Breloom. They're going to be ways to get around that too. Obviously being Ice type, there are good ways to get around it and bypass it. It is quite bulky though. That's the only thing. So it probably will be living them. They're not like absolute counters, but if it's worked down a little bit there, it should be able to come in and finish them off. I'm trying to think what else we got here for Iron Bundle. It is actually quite a little bit of a barren Pokemon, actually. It actually is. Even on its best moves, on its special side, it's very, very barren. There's not that much you can actually do to it. I'll show you its physical moves here too. So it does get Present as well, which is very important if you want to run Present. So I've got Avalanche on here. We've got Drill Peck. There's some kind of interesting moves here, but yeah, there is the Mighty Present set. You've got to use this, here we go. We're going to go for the Present set here, so we're going to max its attack. We're being very serious about this now. You know what? It needs more power. We're going to give it Adamant Nature. Now, unfortunately, even with Quiet Drop, I wonder if I can drop its speed to give it a boost in attack. I don't even think that's going to work. Like, even if I give it like 0. Let me see. Oh, it's so good. It's so good in speed. It still doesn't actually allow me to get a Quiet Drive for its attack. That's pretty funny. It's very, very reminiscent of, obviously Beast Boost, right? So yeah, you go present, people, and you can throw them presents. You know what? Give it a normal gym as well. Really, but start to bump things up there with base power. Well, people, I don't think there's too much more you can talk about for Iron Bundle. It's a very limited move pool Pokemon, but is very powerful at the same time. This set here, you'll be coming across mostly, I'd say, either be Terra, Ice, or Water, or instead of Flip Turn, it'll be Taunt, or I'd say it may even be Encore as well. So they're sort of the sets you'll be seeing on it mostly for singles, and the doubles ones I already talked about. You could definitely make use of the Blizzard there. Where are we? The Blizzard set there, for sure. And you could just go ahead and spam Blizzard and use that Abomasnow partner. So I see that working the best. I think it's already banned in a Smogon format, so I believe there, so because it's very powerful. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this, people. I'll be back. Depending on when I upload this, I might upload this on Christmas. There might be some other Iron Bundle videos already up, or I've put this one up early. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.